world of my own. Yeah. Have I started up the other stream? I have started on the other stream. Right, we're on. We're all good. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, Facebook and YouTube. How are we all? Are we all good? Are we all healthy? Are we all well? Are we all happy? My settings on my TikTok, YouTube aren't right. Why not? What's going on? Help me out. I don't know. Let me get me chat box up. That's what I need up. I don't know why. It just seems on like a really small screen. Oh no, that's better. I'm sorting it. I'm all good. I'm sorting it. Not that anyone's on Facebook or YouTube yet. Anyway, how are you, lovely people on TikTok? Are you all good? It is Friday, the 14th of February. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you, male, female out there. I hope you're all having a lovely, lovely day. Hope you've been spoiled a little bit. Remember, if you're going to celebrate Valentine's Day, every now and then we're going to have days that are just going to be slightly more calorific. And you just need to accept that. And that might mean at the end of the week, your week's a little bit more calorific than what you're ideally trying to stick to. But it just is what it is. It doesn't change the journey in any way. So today, I've just made I always try to bank some calories Monday to Friday. But today I'm not doing. So I eat 2,600 calories a day on average. I've had a couple of thousand calories Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think I had 2,300 yesterday. So I banked 2,100 calories for the weekend. And I'm just going to eat 2,600 today. I'm gonna eat because we're going to have a little bit of a convenient treaty kind of tea. We're going to have a bit of pizza for tea. We're going to have a bit of an ice cream sundae afterwards. Tea is 1,200 calories. So it's not ridiculous, to be honest with you. I've had yogurt and granola for my breakfast. I'm having rice. Oh, did you get any rice? I'm not. I'll probably have noodles then. I was going to say, I'm having rice for my dinner. I'm not. I didn't get any from Aldi. I've got over the packet rice, to be honest with you, in the cupboard. So I might have a mooch through and see what else I can drum up. I was going to have rice, broccoli. I'm going to have some satay skewers from Iceland. Actually, I've got some Mexican rice. So I have Mexican rice, broccoli, barbecue skewers, Nando's Peronaise. I'm addicted to it at the moment. Anyway, should we do a top 5 on the old TikTok? See who's in this morning. Who's in at number 1? Come on. Lauren's in at number 1. James is in at number 2. Donna's in at number 3. Faye's in at number 4. And Sheila is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. Thank you very much, as always, for jumping straight on the live. Coming and saying hello. I'm a bit cold this morning. Hence, I've got... How many layers have I got? 3 layers and a bobbly hat. I have got my heater on in the gym, but and it is actually pretty warm. Alexa, set temperature 18 degrees. I don't 20. Let's knock it down a little bit. Adam, good morning. Kelly, good morning. Mama Bear, good morning. Lou, Angela. Guess what I just bought? Japanese burger buns. They are so good. Rachel's actually having today. She's going to have just a ham butty. Use them. Yeah, so I was, if you're on my live last night, Rachel bought from M&S yesterday Japanese milk buns. Unreal. Absolutely unreal how good they were. Absolutely delicious. We had them with some chicken tenders on last night. A little bit of lettuce, a little bit of mayonnaise. Really, really good. Anyway, Rachel's having one she's just having a ham butty with them for dinner. And yeah, they're absolutely amazing. 197 calories each. Karen G, good morning. Danny H, Carol, Kirsty, morning. Finally in those 12s. I've not done your check-in yet, Kirsty. I have done this morning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I've done 33 check-ins so far today. I'm about halfway of what's in my WhatsApp. So please bear with me. I am rattling through this morning. I had a really crazy day last Friday, and it actually proper stressed me out. Anyway, I've got my head down today, and I've been working. I'm going to get my head down after this live. I might finish this live a little bit earlier, I might finish about 10 to 12. And then I'm going to get my head down, do another 40 minutes of check-ins, go and have a bit of dinner, go and walk the dogs, and then I'll come back and get me out. And I'd like to I'm going to get them all done today for about 4 o'clock. That is my aim. Get all check-ins done for 4 o'clock. And then I'm going to I might sign off. I might nip back in here for an hour later on. But yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a Valentine's pizza on the couch. I think we're going to have pizza on the couch. I'm going to have a non-alcoholic beer. We're going to do a little ice cream sundae afterwards. Well, we're going to have pizza on the couch, a little non-alcoholic beer, take the dogs for a second walk, then come back and have a bit of dessert. And then I think we're just going to chill and bang a film on and just have a nice sort of chilled evening, as it were. John's in. Happy Valentine's, everyone. Good morning, John. I've just had the protein crumpet with egg. Very nice. They are excellent. If you want to see my full review of Aldi's protein crumpet, they are on. What are they on? It's on my YouTube. Last night, brand new Worth the Calories video came out yesterday, and I review the Aldi protein crumpet. They are good. If you want to see how good, go watch that review. But yes, I did thoroughly enjoy them. Karen OG, good morning. And Anna's in as well. Who else is in? Maureen's in. Lisa's in. Karen H is in. We don't celebrate it. We don't, to be honest with you. Me rates don't. We don't bother. We've been together too long to bother. Celebrating. We don't really, but it's just nice to use it. I think because it's a Friday, it's just nice to use it as an excuse to have a bit of a chilled out sort of evening, if that makes sense. Denise, hi all, good evening. Water fast, but my metabolism is in starvation mode. How do I tone my abs? What's that again? Right. So your metabolism is going into starvation mode. That's a load of nonsense. So forget that. Right, that's a load of nonsense. Why are you doing a water fast? Absolute waste of time. Right? Yes, you'll lose weight because you're in a very extreme calorie deficit, but a good majority of your weight loss will also be a loss of food weight and water weight out of the body. Plus, it's really unhealthy because you're not giving your body any nutrition. Right? So stop doing that nonsense. How do you tone your abs? Do core exercises. Right? That's it. Right, there you go. That's that one ticked off, innit? Love Nando's Paradise. Yeah, it's lovely. Just got the last pack of Nutella donuts. Nutella donuts? Where the Nutella donuts? I've just got a few bits from Aldi, actually. I have just bought, this is going to be tea tomorrow night, their Wagyu pies. They've got like a full Valentine section. Anyway, they've got Wagyu beef and caramelized onion, and Wagyu beef and garlic and some garlic, wild garlic pies. So I've just bought both of those, not realizing they are 700 calories a pop. That's a pretty calorific pie. But anyway, I'm going to have one of those tomorrow night with, I don't know, I might have pie and chips. I might have one of those, might do some air fried chips, some garden peas, few carrots, bit of gravy, something like that. I think that's going to be tomorrow night's tea. And then, we're enjoying our higher calorie days this week, kind of today and tomorrow, really. And then Sunday, I'm going to try and rein it in a little bit, though we are out for breakfast with some friends. And I was tempted to have a full English, but I'm just going to see how today and tomorrow goes, really, and see where my calories are. But I definitely need some Nutella donuts in my life. They would be absolutely top tier. Would love them. Right, let me scan down. Karen H is in. Good morning. I think Karen H, your check-in might be next up. But it's certainly not, I don't think it's a million miles away. Don't quote me on that one, though. Let me scan down. The 5 people that are on, 4 of you on YouTube, 1 of you on Facebook. Good morning, guys. Hope you're all well as well. So we're all good. And that's what I've been doing. I have been sort of planning. Let me get my Nutri check up. I know you guys, I'm not going to show anyone, actually, because I feel a bit harsh on the you guys on Facebook, YouTube, because all you do is see my phone if I start showing it. But I'm going to talk through my Nutri check, and let's get into my diary. So this morning I've had 200 grams of yogurt with 25 grams of protein powder, 150. Do you know what? I've got an addiction to frozen strawberries at the moment. There's just something about they've such an I love berries, right? Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. There's always a punnet of at least one of those things in my fridge. But I've noticed recently strawberries are rubbish, and I know it's not the season, but the flavour's just not there, and they are pretty damn expensive. So anyway, I went to Food Warehouse. Was it this week I did Food Warehouse? Yeah, it might be Monday or Tuesday. I went to Food Warehouse, and I thought, you know what, just to show people that a lot of people say like eating healthier is expensive, and it is. You know, I've talked about this a lot. So if you start eating healthier, what you spend in a supermarket will go up, right? Your weekly, what you would call shopping bill, will increase because, you know, yeah, fruit isn't cheap. If you go and buy, like, I'm not saying you need to buy the finest or anything like that, but if you go to Tesco and get Tesco finest blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries, you're going to be knocking on nearly 10 quid for 3 punnets. And I do those 3 punnets every 2 days. So I do half a punnet of strawberries, half a punnet of blueberries, and half a punnet of raspberries a day, right? Now, £10 every 2 days on fruit, 5 quid a day, that's £35 a week. Maybe I don't eat as much as that at the weekend, but it's certainly £30 a week. That's £120 a month on fruit, right? Now, I'm in a situation where I don't really have an expensive lifestyle, and, you know, I will always spend money on things like that over anything else, right? I will. I'll always prioritize my diet and my nutrition. And it doesn't mean I'm the healthiest person in the world. I'm not, right? But I love things like that. But, you know, I understand that is expensive for a lot of people. And, you know, when I was in Food Warehouse, I had a look, and the frozen fruit in Food Warehouse was Del Monte. So it's a big brand. It's £2.25 for a packet, right? Aldi, it's about 2 quid for the same size packet. So it's not much cheaper, but it is still cheaper. But basically, in a frozen packet of fruit, you get double the quantity because obviously you've got to take into account there's ice and stuff in there. So if you get a 350 gram packet of strawberries, you're not getting 350 grams of strawberries. You're probably getting about 300 grams of strawberries. So, but you're getting roughly double or a time and a half. And 3 packets of the Del Monte were £6.75. And that will actually probably, it's not going to be a million miles away of lasting me a week. Lasting me a week for 6 quid instead of 30. Right? Because I don't seem to use as much. The flavour seems to be a bit more intense when it comes to frozen fruit. So, yeah, it is a big saving. It is, and if you go to Aldi, it's 6 quid for 3 packets, £6.75 for the Del Monte ones. But I've got a real addiction. The flavour of frozen strawberries. Tinned strawberries are the same. It just seems to have that I don't know. It just has that, and they're always consistent. They're always the same. Whereas sometimes you'll buy a punnet of strawberries, like, wow, they're banging strawberries. Then you'll buy another punnet of strawberries, and you're like, they don't taste anything. Whereas frozen strawberries, even though they're just freshly frozen, just always seem, they just always have that same flavour. Anyway, I took 200 grams of Greek yogurt this morning, 150 grams of frozen strawberries, pinged them in the microwave for 2 minutes, right, just to melt them down. And some of the juice comes out, and then just poured that straight into my Greek yogurt with 25 grams of protein powder and mixed it up. It was absolutely amazing, right? Absolutely. It was so good. It was so good. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. And I had a bit of the protein chocolate granola from Aldi sprinkled on top. Top tier breakfast. That was my breakfast this morning. That was 464 calories for 46.8 grams of protein and 8.3 grams of fibre. Banging. Lunch today, I've got my chicken skewers in. My Saturday chicken skewers, rice, broccoli. I'm going to have to change that. But I've got my lunch in at 568 calories. It will be 568 calories. It won't be any more than that. That's what it'll be. Even if I have to change it up a little bit because I've got because I didn't buy my white rice that I love. And then this afternoon, I'm going to have, I bought it from B&M actually yesterday, an Applied Nutrition. I've never had the Applied Nutrition shakes. I like Applied Nutrition. They've got some decent products. I put in, by the way, guys, I have got 3. I've not even pushed them because I'm not even bothered. If they don't go, I'll just eat them myself. But I have got 3 Boss Your Protein boxes left for February. So if I'm a bit low on protein bars, so I'm like, if they don't sell, I'll just eat them myself. It's fine. But I have got 3. protein boxes left for February. So if you want to try one, go grab one now, and I'll stick it in the post today for you. You should get it Monday, maybe Tuesday. In February's Bosch Protein Box is Applied Nutrition's chocolate protein porridge. It is excellent. 23 grams. Normally when you buy a protein porridge, the what? 13 grams of protein for 270 calories. These are like 250 calories for 23 grams of protein. They're absolutely banging. They're really, really good. I'm thinking I'm going to have one with some frozen strawberries in it or some frozen raspberries mixed in, just because they are quite sweet. But yeah, so if you want a Bosch protein box, guys, there's 3 left. So go grab one, and I'll stick it in the post today for you. Anyway, Applied Nutrition. I do like some of that stuff. Anyway, I was having a look in B&M. B&M, Home Bargains, you always have a little protein section with some protein bars and a few other bits and pieces, right? And yeah, anyway, I grabbed one of their white chocolate, Applied Nutrition's white chocolate milkshakes, protein shakes. Because normally a 330 ml, like Aldi, a 330 ml pre-made protein shake, the cowbell ones, and they're all delicious. The strawberry one's 166 calories. The chocolate one is 180 calories for 20 grams of protein. Well, the Applied Nutrition one is 20 grams of protein for 126 calories. So it's about a third the calories of most pre-made protein shakes. Anyway, I'm going to review it for worth the calories this week. I've never had it before. You might have had one. You might have had a lot of them. But I'm going to review that. So anyway, I'm having that this afternoon. That's going to be my afternoon kind of snack, as it were. And then tea tonight. I've got half a Aldi Carlos stone-baked margarita pizza, and then we're having half each of the chicken Kiev and garlic butter pizza from M&S. So that's it. So that's everything that's in my app at 2,122 calories. So calorie-wise, pretty decent at the moment. Pretty good. And then I'm going to do some sort of pudding afterwards. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to eat 2,600 today. So I've got 480 calories to play with. Whether I eat them or not, I don't know. But I will be having, we're having a bit of a pudding today. We've already said that. I might get one after this live. Looks good. Very good, Kelly. Very, very good. Right, let me scan down, see who else is going on. Hi, Neil. Thanks for weighing. Not a problem, Lynn. You are more than welcome. Yes, it is check-in day. It is manic check-in day. So I have got my head down. Last manic check-in day, I was working till about 9 o'clock at night. That's not happening. So if I get my head down and I don't get distracted, I can whip through check-ins. I'm pretty good at it. I've done it for a lot of years now. Jack Thompson's just asked, what's the Donna like for my protein? It's good. Again, full review on the worth of calories video, so I won't say too much, but I was impressed with it. Yeah, I was impressed with it. Very, very, I thought it was decent, especially for the calories. And I think what the important thing is about, so I've had the grill house Donna meat from Iceland, and now the My Protein authentic Donna meat from Iceland. And both of them are exactly the same as getting kebab meat from a standard, fairly average, not average, that's honestly a bit harsh to say, like a standard kebab shop, right? Why I say standard kebab shop is we've got a couple of kebab shops around our way that are proper Turkish-owned kebab shops where they actually make their own doner meat. And it's just unreal how good it is, right? Because they literally make it in-house on site. It's not like they go to a cash and carry, buy an elephant's foot, put it on the grill it and slice it. Oh, trust me, I eat them. I love doner meat. I'm not a fussy chap. I'll eat one sober, I'll eat one drunk. I absolutely love doner meat, right? I would honestly, it will make me never buy a doner kebab from a standard shop, right? Maybe unless I'm really drunk at the end of the night, but I don't even go out at night anymore, so that's the end of that. But yeah, it would do. I'd never go into like a standard. So if I go to one, like we've got around here, we've got a place called Cyprus in Polton, awesome kebabs. One of the best around here is called the Armenian Kebab House in Blackpool. And the quality of the kebab is just top tier. But yeah, that authentic doner meat from My Protein is as good as any, like, if not better than any just standard kebab shop. And all you do is go and buy a pita bread, go and buy a flatbread, buy a naan bread, whatever you want, whack it in there, and just make your own. Easy for tracking, great for tracking. That doner meat, 100 gram, the authentic doner meat from My Protein, 100 grams cooked, which is about 130 grams frozen, is 250 calories. So if you took 260 grams of that doner meat frozen, which is like 2/3 of a pack, and cooked it, that's going to give you about 200 grams of doner meat, which is about 40 odd calories, which is about 500 calories for 40 odd grams of protein. You go and get yourself a nice large white pita bread. That's 200 calories. Whack a load of salad in there. Bit of lighter than light, mayonnaise or something like that, and a little spoonful of mint sauce. And honestly, for less than 800 calories, you've got a really decent doner kebab. And you know it's accurate when you're tracking it, because it's not accurate when you're tracking it from a kebab shop. You know, you can guesstimate it as best as you can, but you're never going to be that accurate. Jack, again, I found them Lebanese flatbreads, and they're amazing. They are absolutely superb. I went in Tesco actually last week and they didn't have any. But yeah, they're really, really good. And they're huge. They're really big. For 200 calories each, 220 calories each, go and get yourself one of them. Whack some doner meat on it, lettuce, onion, maybe some pickles or something like that, whatever you want. And then, like I say, one thing that makes calories really high at a kebab shop is sauces. Sauces are really, like, if you go to a kebab shop and you get garlic mayo, Thousand Island, you're going to be talking at least 250 calories in sauce. At least 250 calories in sauce. So what I tend to do is, if I get a kebab, like, I get their chili sauces. You know, any sort of fruit, sugar-based sauce is a lot less calories. I was talking about this yesterday. You know, a tablespoon of ketchup is about 20 calories, whereas a tablespoon of full-fat mayonnaise is 120 calories. Well, that's what your garlic is. It's literally, Thousand Island will be a bit less. But your garlic mayonnaise, your garlic sauce is literally just mayonnaise with garlic flavouring added to it. So, you know, and if they are all over your kebab, you're going to be talking at least 300 calories of sauce. That's a lot. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you can't eat that. You can build it into your calories. If that's what you enjoy, you honestly can. Yeah. But yeah, if you're making your kebab at home, you can use, like I say, a bit of lighter than light mayonnaise. It might not be everyone's favourite, but if you whack that onto with a little bit of, like, some sort of hot sauce or chili sauce, or like the sweet chili jam from Nando's, it's just, it'd be amazing. It'd be really, really, really good. I'll have to try that next time I'm over Blackpool. Oh yeah, if anyone comes Blackpool, I'm not very good at. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. A lot of people do message me. They come to Blackpool because that's where I'm from, and they're like, "Oh, where's good to eat out? Where's good?" I don't actually live in Blackpool. I live about 8 miles. I live in between Blackpool and Preston, in the country, right in between, really, of the two places. So we do go to certain places. You know, someone said, "Oh, we're walking up the promenade at Blackpool. Where's good for fish and chips?" I genuinely wouldn't really know, because we always go to our local chippy here, which is excellent. Though I have said to a few clients that are in our that have come to my area, I said, if you fancy a drive out, our local chippy is absolutely banging. It's got a little restaurant on the side, so you can eat in if you want to, or you can get them and just eat them in the car. And it's like, and I've had a few clients that, you know, they're like, "You're right, that is," and it is it's flipping expensive. Well, I say it's expensive. What's expensive for a chippy? Someone commented on my thing. So I said, when I did my fish chips and peas from Aldi, you know, like the cod pieces and and someone said, "That's bloody double the price of getting fish and chips." And I was like, and he was actually from Blackpool. And he never responded. And I said, "Where are you getting fish chips?" And he said, my local chippy, fish chips and peas, are a £5. I said, "Well, I'm from Blackpool. What chippy are you going to where you're getting fish chips and peas for a £5? Don't get me wrong, getting fish and chips in Blackpool is a bit cheaper if you go to a little local chippy in Blackpool than it is where I am. But fish chips and peas in my chippy is 11 quid. That's regular. A regular fish is £6. Regular chips is £3.50. and a regular peas is like £1.50, maybe even £2. So it's like 11, 12 quid for fish chips and peas in my chippy. A large fish, now, I always used to get a large fish. A large fish in my chippy, and they are huge, they are big, is £11. So if you want a large fish, chips and peas, you're 16 quid. That's for takeaway. That's not eating it. That's taken away and eating it at home. £16. Anyway, I asked him where you could get, because I'll go and get it. He never responded, so I think he was possibly lying a little bit. But anyway, what do you pay for fish and chips around your... for fiver, was that in 90s? I know, I was going to say that. I'm in Blackpool and it's at least 10 quid. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm like, where you get it? Like, unless you're going somewhere, like our neighbours over here, like, they're retired, and they go to a place in St Anne's, and they eat in, and they get fish, chips, peas, slice of bread and butter, and a cup of tea, standard sort of thing. I think they pay 14 quid. But I asked them once, I said, that is really good value if you're eating in. Can you take a picture of it? And it was, I would be eating both portions. It was, but for £7 each eating in, what are you expecting? But yeah, I'm like, where are you getting fish, chips and peas? Is anyone else from Blackpool? Do you know a chippy where you can, in 2025, you can get quality, good fish, chips and peas for a fiver? 20 years ago, yeah. Not now. Nikki on Facebook, can I please ask a question? The importance of breakfast. I never have it as I'm not hungry till at least late morning. It's not important. It's not important. The old saying, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, was a marketing gimmick actually invented by Dr. Kellogg. Yes, they got it. Mr. Kellogg, he was a doctor. To get you to buy breakfast cereal. Now, I love eating breakfast, right? I love eating breakfast cereal. I'm not going to sit here and demonize it because I love eating it. But breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. It's not important at all. It's just consuming extra calories. If you don't want it, don't eat it. Never, ever force feed yourself. There's never a need to force feed ourselves, right? If you're not hungry, don't eat. If you're hungry, eat. Now, there are different circumstances to that. So I always eat after I've trained. After I've been to the gym, I always want to get protein and carbs into my body, right? That's just that. And again, do I need to? No, but it's just the way I like to do things, right? And I've always done that. And I always plan my training around an eating period. So basically, I went to the gym this morning. I didn't eat a single thing. I was in the gym for about 8:45, finished at about 10:25, did a 15 minutes training session. I've got home and I've had yogurt, granola, and some fruit, right? Perfect post-workout meal for me, right? And I want that in my system, mainly for recovery, right? Because if I don't have that in my system and I leave it 2 or 3 hours before I eat, I go really tired and lethargic. And I want to get my glycogen back in my system for my energy, especially on a Friday when I'm using this a lot, right? You need carbs for optimal brain function. I don't want any brain fog today. I don't need it. I'm busy enough without having that. So that's just me personally. Now, if I come in here and do a live 8:30 till 9:30, say, in the morning, and then I might do half an hour worth of admin afterwards, then I go to the gym. I don't eat. I get to the gym for about 10:15. I'll train maybe for 45 minutes to an hour, so I'm done for 11:20. We'll leave the gym. I'll nip to Aldi maybe on the way home. By the time we get home, it's 10:45 to 12. Then I'll have lunch, right? And I won't even eat breakfast. But that old theory, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It isn't. You need to eat breakfast. It kickstarts your metabolism. It doesn't. Your metabolism runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it's dead simple. But don't feel like you need to starve yourself either. If you wake up in the morning and you are genuinely hungry, eat breakfast, right? Log it, track it, make it fit in with your calories. If you're up in the morning and you're forcing breakfast down your neck because you think you have to eat it, because it is the most important meal of the day, it kickstarts your metabolism, you don't lose any fat unless your metabolism's firing up and all this bollocks that people come out with, you don't need to. If you're not hungry, don't eat. Likewise, if you don't need to eat breakfast at 8 a.m. I had my breakfast this morning at 10 a.m. when I got back from the gym. I class my first meal of the day kind of as breakfast, really, unless it goes past 12 p.m. Then it's dinner or lunch. Yeah. So again, it's entirely down to you. So don't feel like if you're hungry at 8 a.m., eat breakfast at 8 a.m. If you're hungry at 10 a.m., eat breakfast at 10 a.m. If you're not hungry by dinner, if you're not hungry at all in the morning, don't bother and just hang on and have your lunch. Absolutely fine. Yeah, eat the way you want to eat. I had red grapes and some Pringles for breakfast. I mean, to be honest with you, I am a big believer at times of eating something that you want with something that you need. You need things like grapes for your nutrition. You might want some Pringles. So that's all right. The only thing with that is, James, that is extremely high in carbohydrates, right? And you might be like, Neil, you've always told us for years we can eat carbs. You can eat carbs, but if you're eating a lot of carbs without any protein in, and if you're eating a lot of carbs that are quite low in fiber, which grapes and Pringles tend to be quite low in fiber, that is going to digest very, very quickly in your system. Now, James, you've got a manual job, which is you're going to be burning a lot of calories doing that job. So you need carbs for that energy. But what you don't want is if you're eating grapes and Pringles at 8:30 in the morning, an hour and a half later to be Hank Marvin, right? Because that's one thing eating in the morning does do. It starts your digestive system. Your digestive system can sort of chill its beans quite a bit, right? And go, oh, I'm all right, a bit lethargic. As soon as you start eating something, oh, hang on, right, I've got more food coming in now, let's get going. Right? So, and any carb will digest very, very quickly, and that will make you hungry quite short afterwards. So it's just something to be aware of. So if you eat Pringles and grapes for your breakfast, is it the most nutritious meal in the world? No. Would I recommend eating it for breakfast every day? No. If you fancy it every now and then, it's absolutely fine. But it's just a learning curve. If that keeps your hunger locked up to lunch, or James might be like, no, I've got a protein bar in my pocket, so an hour and a half later I'll smash a protein bar in. Fine. No issues at all. The culture of bodybuilders and misinformation on social media, real talk as always. Do you know what? That's the thing with me posting quite a few protein products on social media. I don't think people understand why I do it. A lot of people do look at it. A lot of the people that slag protein off on social media is they look at it from the perspective of, I'm a bodybuilder. I want the most bioavailable protein, and I want the least amount of protein so I can get as much protein into my system for as little calories as possible. That's fine. But read my page, right? Not once does it say on my page, the real lost boss, bodybuilding coach extraordinaire. I know the whole functionality of it, and I love going to the gym and lifting weights and this, that, and the other. But and I do comment that sometimes. I'm like, that's fine if you're a bodybuilder. Why are you giving out this nutritional advice? You'll never build muscle. I'm not a bodybuilding coach, mate. I'm a weight loss coach. Right? My main aim is to get people to control their calories so they lose weight, right? And if they're eating an amount of protein in every single meal, that's going to keep them fuller for longer. If they stay fuller for longer, it's going to be easier for them to control their calories. That's it. Dead simple. People aren't robots, right? And it's one of them. Well, what are you getting your protein from crumpets? Look, some people love having crumpets for breakfast. It's what they've had for years and years and years. And to make them go, no, just eat yogurt or just eat 3 boiled eggs for your breakfast, is probably a bit too much of a culture shock. And it's also a bit like, well, I don't really fancy 3 eggs on their own for breakfast because I'm not a robot. I can't just see food as fuel, right? But I do love a crumpet. Right, well, if you have 2 Warburton's crumpets, that's going to give you 6 grams of protein for a couple hundred calories, right? Or you could have 1 large Aldi crumpet, which is going to give you 12 grams of protein, right? Double the protein of Warburton's. Now, don't get me wrong, neither of them are giving you tons of protein, but if you're going to eat crumpets and you want to stay a bit fuller for longer, you're better off eating this one than those. That's it. That's the whole premise of it. Likewise, some people love, the old American breakfast, pancake, eggs and bacon, or pancakes and a bit of, cream and fruit. The old American dream breakfast. And that can be very, very calorific, can be full of lots of things that maybe aren't the most healthy for us. So let's flip that around. Let's eat pancakes for breakfast that's just going to give us a bit more nutrition and is going to fill us up a little bit, right? Is it going to give you as much protein as eating a chicken breast? Is it toss, right? But if you're going to have pancakes for breakfast, so if you're like, yeah, we're like on a Saturday morning doing like an American breakfast with like pancakes with a strawberry compote and squirty cream on top for the kids, well, make that for the kids if you want, right? Make it for yourself if you want. If it fits in with your calories, it's fine. But as another option, you could have these couple of protein pancakes. It's going to fill you up a little bit more. Can have a bit less sugar in, right? Instead of having that squirty whipped cream, why don't we get a nice bit of Greek yogurt, flavour it with a bit of honey and a little some type of protein powder that you like jammy biscuit or red velvet, right? We'll have a spoonful of that on there. Instead of having a strawberry jam on there, why don't we just have some nice fresh strawberries? And again, a little drizzle of honey over the top to sweeten it up. Sprinkle a few chia seeds on there for a bit of extra fibre. And you're just making a simple swap, right? You're making something that you're going to be hungry again in an hour. And the important thing is they both taste amazing. Like I do my pancake stacks, and it literally is the one I had yesterday. Don't get me wrong, it was massive, right? It was massive, but I was hungry. So yesterday I had 2 maple protein pancakes from M&S. 175 grams of Greek yogurt mixed with 20 grams of protein powder. I had 10 grams of honey. I had 5 grams of flaxseed on there. I had 100 grams of strawberries mixed in, frozen strawberries mixed into the yogurt. And then I had 20 grams of melted Skippy peanut butter on top, right? 673 calories, 56.5 grams of protein, and 12 grams of fiber. Now, don't get me wrong, you don't need to make it was huge. And I was starting it, and it was like that. 56.5 grams of protein, 12 grams of fiber, right? I was full at the end of it, but one of the most, it absolutely lit my life up. I'm eating something that is full of nutrition, that is supporting me controlling my calories, that's going to help me stick to a calorie deficit so I consistently lose weight, and it tastes amazing, right? You don't need to eat rubbish food on a weight loss journey. You really, really don't. Shirley, good morning. Thanks, Neil. Nikki, you are more than welcome. How do I find the live on Insta? You can't. It's not on Insta. It's the only live I don't. It's the only place I don't do live. I did start doing a couple of Instagram lives, but my lives are YouTube, Facebook. Go to my Facebook page. If you're in my community or on plan, it's not in the Facebook group, not in our private Facebook group. It's actually on my public Facebook page. It's on my YouTube and it's on my TikTok. With Restream, so I'm using a piece of software called Restream where you can connect your social media platforms to it. You can actually now connect TikTok to it, but I can't be. I like my TikTok live just on my phone because sometimes I'll do a TikTok live in the car. Sometimes I don't need it connected to my computer. But with Restream, it's 15 quid a month. And I can connect 2 social media platforms. So I've done Facebook and YouTube. If I want 3 social media platforms, it goes up to 50 quid a month. So I'm just sticking with Facebook and YouTube. So it's not on Instagram, so you can't find it. I was watching an Instagram program last night on TV. Instagram program. Insta was voting worst for encouraging EDs. Doesn't surprise me. I mean, social media is terrible. Why Instagram will be the worst for encouraging eating disorders? And you would not believe how many people have disordered eating. Every single person that jumps on one of my posts and goes, this is this is that, this is rubbish. Anyone that demonizes food without any context, right, has a disordered eating thing. You know, because if you're looking at something going, that's got 40 ingredients in it and it's pure poison, right, you're scared of eating it. If you're scared of eating anything, right, that's disordered eating. Now, what I'd class as an ED is something that's labelled an official ED, right? So, like, there's a couple of very popular under eating disorders. I'm not going to mention them because last time I talked about this, I actually got a 1-week ban off TikTok. I don't know why. Maybe someone reported me. I have no idea. But I got a 1-week ban off TikTok. But there are a few, like, obviously, EDs out there. But disordered eating, and really a lot of people class disordered eating as an ED. It's just not a recognised one. But honestly, so many people I see that are, they're super lean, which a lot of people think is the epitome of health. It isn't. And they're eating 1,200 calories a day. Half these people that are absolutely super ripped and making out the Dominoes at a weekend, honestly, if you went behind the scenes, they do this. And they spit it out. They don't they spit, they don't swallow, basically, right? They don't digest it. They don't swallow that food, right? But people don't realise, people just see this person that is, a girl that's 5'3", 7 stone, lean as anything, and going, yeah, me and my boyfriend every weekend we share a Domino's and this and that. Now in my head, right, because when me and Rachel share a Domino's, it's 2 large Domino's pizzas. I smash a full one in. Rachel probably does 2/3 of one, and I finish hers off. That is my. So when someone says we share a Domino's at the weekend, I'm like, and even in my head, I'm like, how do these people eat Domino's? I said it about Rachel's friends. They have Domino's like 3 times a week. We said this the other week. How do they afford that? They have Domino's like, maybe not 3 times a week. I'm probably exaggerating. But every time Rachel voice notes me, it's like, what do you have to? Well, we decided to have a Domino's. And I'm just like, and neither of them have a weight issue. And I'm like, how do you eat Domino's 2-3 times a week and not have a? But they literally, we've been round there and should we get a Domino? Yeah, get a Domino's if you want to. It's not our favourite, but we don't mind having it every now and then, right? And I'm there like with my large pepperoni passion, like a heron eating a fish with each slice, and it's gone, right? And I'm like, oh, that was lovely. And then I'm looking across the room at Brad and going, are you not thinking, no, I'll take that. I'll take that for me lunch and me breakfast and me lunch at work tomorrow. Like, what? So he's bought a 2,000 calorie pizza. He eats 1,000 calories at night time, 400 calories for his breakfast, 600 calories for his lunch. I'm not saying it's healthy, and I'm just like, no, when I buy Domino's pizza, I'm not saying they do that all the time. They do, but I've seen it. So I don't wrong. I'm not criticising them for that. It's amazing that they've got self-control over their eating, whereas I haven't. I'm just smashing it in, Let me scroll up. But yeah, loads of it. And the thing with Instagram is it's pictures. Instagram is basically pictures and videos. So that's why it's, with Facebook, it's pictures, it's videos, it's statuses, it's posts, it's all sorts, right? But, and I think the big thing with Instagram as well is anyone can take a picture and make it look decent. You've got Photoshop, it's amazing. I just use basic editing software to do my videos. What I could do with filters and check, honestly, in the space that I can take a picture of me, I can bring my waist in, I can bring my shoulders out, I can do all sorts. I don't, right? What you see is what you get. You get all my floppy arms and everything on my pictures. I'm not bothered, right? I'm generally not that vain. Can anyone see your TikTok lives? Yeah, anyone, yeah. TikTok, all social media is public. Yeah, so anyone. So the only lives I do that the community can see is my Facebook weight loss coaching lives and the Zooms, right? They are just private for our community, yeah? But yeah, the TikTok's public, open space. So's Facebook, so's YouTube, yeah? Now, don't get me wrong, you can do with Facebook and YouTube, and so I could say, right, twice a week I'll do a public live, 3 times a week I'll do a subscriber only live, and to see that live you have to subscribe to me, so that kind of makes it more. But I don't have any. You can subscribe to my Facebook page if you want to support. If you don't subscribe to anything of mine, you can subscribe to my Facebook page. It's £1 a month. I have it set up, and it's just like a little donation. I think I've got about 30 subscribers to my Facebook page. I think it's 99p a month, and people just for 99p a month, they appreciate the content that I put on there for nothing. And everything I put on Instagram goes on Facebook. You can set up Facebook, Instagram memberships, and YouTube and all that. And do that. I never have done. Facebook just automatically said, "Oh, I also have subscription service on TikTok." I'm not in control of that. I had someone last week or a couple of weeks ago said their sister had signed up to my subscription on TikTok and could I cancel it for them? I can't. I'm not in control of it. I can't take it off my page. I can't take it off. I can't stop it. All I can do is have it set, and it's set at the lowest it can be, which I think is for £5 a month, right, or £6 a month. But there's nothing I can. I'm not in control of it. I can't email TikTok and say, hey, can you remove the subscription off my page? It's got to be on there, and that's why I'm always very, very conscious of when I say, if you want to join my community, TikTok profile, click on my link tree. It literally says linktree/real lost boss. Don't sign up to anything else because I can't help you with that. Yeah. It says on Nutcheck, Subway chicken tikka salad is 73 calories. That can't be right, can it? Do you know what? You'd be amazed. Subway salads are less than 200 calories. I think that'll be per 100 grams or something like that. But they are pretty low, and you don't actually get loads of chicken. Subway chicken tikka salad. Also with the salads, it all depends what salad you have. Do you know what I mean? So it'll obviously be quite generic. Let me have a look. So, and the best thing to do is if you're ever questioning something, you're like, that can't be right. And no, it won't be. That won't be right. It'll come up on NutriCheck as one serving, but it'll actually be 100 grams. Because you do get the odd thing that is just, that is wrong. You know, you will get the odd nutritional label that's wrong. Anyway, Subway. I've just literally downloaded the Subway nutritional charts. I can't read it because it's the world's smallest thing in the world. Sandwiches, salads. Here we go. Chicken tikka salad, 290 calories. It's 290 calories. So that'll be for 100 grams. Because I think the salad's on average about 400 grams. So if you put that in as 4, so 73 times 4 is 292. There you go. Yeah, so it might say for the whole salad, it won't be. That'll be for 100 grams because I think a Subway salad is 400 grams, or it's meant to be. So yeah, a chicken tikka. Can I not zoom in on this? Have a look. Zoom. Oh, I can zoom in. Right. Oh God, the quality's good as well. Right. So, oh no, that's a roast chicken. Chicken tikka salad is 290. 209. Oh, serving size. Oh no. Don't quote me on that. Hang on 1 second. I'm wrong. I was looking at the wrong thing. Right. So the first thing's grams. Right. So a chicken tikka Subway salad should be 290 grams, and it's 128 calories. 128 calories. That is low. But that's what it says on the website, and what's on the website will be right. So, and it is just salad and a bit of chicken breast in it, and you don't get a lot of chicken in a Subway. So it is 128 calories. The highest calorie salad at Subway is the mega meat salad, which is 434 calories. There you go. Now, something you also need to remember about Subway, if you get a 6-inch sub, so I've got the details up here. So, for example, if you get a chicken and turkey sub, right, a 6-inch sub is 379 calories. That does not include, don't quote me on this, but that does not include sauce or cheese and toasted. I think I did look into this. So if you put it at 379, right, and then you want it cheese and toasted, and you have sauce, you need to put that in, right? So you need to add like 20 grams of cheddar, and then put in a tablespoon of Southwest sauce or something like that. Yeah, that's so true. The Subway nutritional information is absolutely tiny. I'm like that. I've managed to zoom in on it. If anyone else wants to know any more calories at Subway, let me know. I've got the thing up. Sorry to you guys on Facebook and YouTube. You're like, why is Neil peering at his screen like that? It's because I was reading the Subway nutritional information. Thank you. 128 calories. It says that won't include sauce or cheese. So if you get a Subway salad, chicken tikka salad, it's 128 calories, and you ask them to put a sprinkle of cheese on, you need to add 20 grams of cheddar. And if you have any sauce on that, you need to add that on as well. All right. That will just include the meat and the lettuce. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Hi, Neil, got my calories yesterday. When should start to weigh? From next Friday or the next Friday? Angela, let me have a look. Oh, yes, I did send your calories yesterday. Right, let me... Angela, you got your calories yesterday. I would officially start on the Monday because that's a new weight loss week. Fridays do not signify the end or the start of a week, right? It's just a very good day for weighing to get a fairly accurate number on the scale. So I would recommend starting them. If you want to start them now, Angela, start them now. That's fine. I would recommend starting really officially Monday, that's a new week, and then weigh 2 weeks today, right? And see where you're at. Weigh today if you want. That could be your start weight. That's fine. I know you might not be sticking to the calories Saturday, Sunday, but weigh today. You can log that as your start weight, or weigh first thing Monday morning. You can log that as your start weight. You need to accept if you weigh Monday morning or this morning, it's not going to give you the most accurate representation of your weight. Depending on if you've been trying to stick to calories already, Mondays aren't great. So weigh this morning, start your calories whenever you want. Monday's a good time to start, and then weigh a week on Friday, and then weigh every 2 weeks. Yeah. Right. Let me scan down. It is that low, but you need to add the cheese on it. Oh, Anna's already backed me up. Yes, you need to add the cheese and the thing on. Yeah, absolutely right. Let me scan down. Not a bacon and cheese sarnie from the shop. Tempted today, but geez, the calories. Oh, what do you reckon a bacon and cheese sarnie is? What, from a normal shop? You've got to be, because they will go quite hefty on the cheese. You've got to be at probably 700 calories, maybe. I did ask this the other day, Neil, but don't think you see it. Can you lose fat if your insulin is high? 100%. Absolutely can. This whole narrative of you can't lose body fat if insulin is present in your body is absolute bullshit, right? And where it comes around from is, so there's a model called the carbo-insulin model. It came out in the 70s and 80s, and basically insulin stores fat in the body. I don't want to get too confused with this, all right? But when insulin is present in the body, that's how we store fat in the body, right? We have to store fat in the body. We actually don't use food for energy, right? In terms of calories in food. So when I eat 2,000 calories, right, my body doesn't go. I always talk of it like it's like this, but it's not that simple a process. But I like to keep things simple. So I might say, when we lose fat, if I eat 2,000 calories and I burn 3,000 calories, my body uses 2,000 calories from what I eat, and then it takes the other 1,000 calories from my fat stores. It doesn't work like that, right? The body has two main energy sources. One is glycogen, which is basically the breakdown of carbohydrates and how the energy from carbs is stored in our muscles, brain, and liver, and we use fat. And we burn both simultaneously. Now, fat is our main energy source. Carbs is our preferred energy source for the body, right? And it's what the body will always look towards, especially when we're doing quick things, or we need to think quickly, or we need to do any running or training or exercise or going for a good walk. Carbs is our preferred energy source, but fat is always our main energy source, right? So we burn fat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm burning fat sat here now. I'm burning fat when I'm fast asleep, right? Because that is our main energy source. And then the body will dip in and use carbs as and when it needs it, right? Now, we don't automatically go, right, my body doesn't automatically go, right, Neil burns 3,000 calories in a day. He's eating 600 calories of yogurt. No, our body permanently converts our calories into fat, right? So it's kind of like like you might get crude oil out of the ground, and then you refine that into petrol, and then you use the petrol. It's kind of a bit like, so our body constantly turns our calories into fat, and to turn our calories into fat, right, so it can be used as our permanent energy source, insulin needs to be present in the body to do that, right, in some variety, shape, or form. So you might have heard people being insulin resistant. That's called they still have insulin going into their body. It's just not as effective as it should be. So you might be like, well, in that case, people aren't storing fat as efficiently. They still store fat, right? Again, we don't need to get too complicated with things. But basically, if I burn 3,000 calories in a day and eat 2,000, I burn 3,000 calories of stored energy, which is my fat. And then the 2,000 calories I eat gets turned back into fat. But if I burn 3 and eat 2, I take out £3,000 in money. If I take £3,000 out the bank in money, and then 3 hours later pay 2,000 in, my bank account is £1,000 less, right? So if I take 3,000 calories of fat out and only replace it with 2,000 calories of fat, my fat stores are 1,000 calories less. And that's how a calorie deficit works. You don't use your food calories and then use your extra fat to top those up. Although I do talk about it a bit like that, just to keep things simple, right? So because insulin is required to turn calories into fat, right? And that'll turn excess calories into fat. It will turn any calories, calorie deficit calories. If you eat 1,200 calories in a day, those 1,200 calories turn into fat in your body and are stored as fat, right? It's only our body fat changes depend on the energy balance. But anyway, some absolute bright spark who's a complete numpty says, well, if insulin turns your calories into fat, you're constantly storing fat with insulin present in your body. And if you're constantly storing fat with insulin present in your body, you can't lose fat. And it's just absolute garbage. It's like if you every single day are paying £1 a minute into your bank account, you are constantly paying money into £1 a second. If you're paying £1, wouldn't we love that? That would be amazing. That's £60 a minute. Right? That's like you'd be on 3. That's like being a footballer. But let's say you are constantly, every second, pound in, pound in, pound in, pound into your bank account. You are constantly paying money into your bank account, right? But if at the same time, every second you're drawing out £2, you ain't making money, are you? You ain't building money. You're not saving money. You're not constantly making your bank account fatter. No, you're constantly making your bank account smaller because you are taking out more money than you are putting in. And that's how the human body works. So the carbo-insulin model that everyone refers to has been debunked so many times, right? And it's just nonsense. And that's where it comes from. That is where this nonsense comes from. And people don't understand it. Right. So when I eat calories, anything, proteins, fats, or carbs, my blood sugars go up. When my blood sugars go up, my pancreas releases insulin. Right? That's what it is. Insulin is present in the body. It's turning those calories into fat. If I've got insulin turning calories into fat, I can't gain fat and lose fat at the same time. So I need to control my insulin levels and have lots of periods of insulin isn't present in my body to lose body fat. It's just garbage. It's like I said there about the money thing. Saying, if I'm constantly paying money in my bank account means I can't go bankrupt, so I can spend whatever I want out of my bank account as long as I'm paying some sort of money in. It doesn't work like that, does it? Right? It's all energy in, energy out. Money in, money out. Right? You pay 10 grand into your bank account and draw 15 grand out, you're 5 grand lighter at the end of the day. Doesn't matter how you're paying the money in, how you're drawing it out. You can pay it in every second and draw it out in one lump sum. It doesn't matter. Does that kind of make sense? I never want to get to, with the way fat loss works, fat burning, all this stuff. I never want to get too complicated, but that's basically the reason why people say you can't lose fat if insulin is present in your body, and that's where the whole narrative has come there, because carbs raise your blood sugars the most, which is going to mean your body is releasing more insulin from the pancreas. This is where this whole narrative comes. If you eat carbs, you can't lose fat. Or if you eat carbs, it makes you fat. And it's just nonsense. It's just absolutely nonsense. I have eaten, well, I'll tell you now. So I haven't weighed myself, but I have lost 13 pounds in the first 5 weeks of 2021. Some of that is excess water weight, food weight from Christmas. I have, from the 2nd of January, this is my little guesstimation, and I won't be a million miles away because I know what I'm talking about. From the 2nd of January up to last week, which was the 7th of February, I have lost 9 pounds of body fat, right? I have lost 9 pounds of body fat, yeah? Now, while losing 9 pounds of body fat, yeah, I have eaten, so this is my carb intake each week, yeah? I eat carbs with every meal, right? So, week commencing the 6th of January, which was the first full week, back at it, yeah? I ate 1,900 grams of carbohydrates that week, right? 1,900 grams of carbs, yeah, that week. Week 2, week commencing the 13th of January, I ate 1,888 grams of carbs that week, right? Week 3, I ate 2,053 grams of carbs that week. And I've never had a day where I've eaten less than 220 grams. I don't think. I'm lying there. First week, my lowest carb day was the Wednesday, 196.6 grams of carbohydrates that day, right? But I've eaten carbs every single day. Week 2, my lowest carb day was 192.9 grams, right? Week 3, was my lowest carb day was the Monday, and I had 227 grams of carbs. My highest carb day was the Sunday, and I had 436 grams of carbs. Week commencing the 27th of January, my lowest day was the Monday. I had 193 grams of carbs. The highest day was the Saturday. I had 388.9 grams of carbs. And then last week, I had my lowest day of carbs was 209, which was the Friday. My highest day was the Sunday, 323. And this week, my lowest day was yesterday. I had 211 grams of carbs. And today, if I have nothing else today, Tuesday so far this week's my highest. Basically, I've eaten at least 190 grams of carbs every single day in the last 5 weeks, and I've lost 9 pounds of body fat. I'm not a special person, right? I'm not the only person in the world that can eat carbohydrates and I eat it for every single meal. I have a variety of carbs for every single meal and shed body fat. Why have I lost 9 pounds of body fat? Well, because I've been in a calorie deficit consistently. Yeah. Amanda's in. Good afternoon, Amanda. Did you just call me Carl, Amanda? I've been called a lot of things about it. I don't think I've ever been called Carl. I used to get Ian quite a lot. I'd love to know how much body fat I have lost. Well, you know, how much weight have you lost? That's how much body fat you've lost. Now, don't get me wrong. When we start our weight loss journey, our excess water retention, food weight, and water weight reduce, but only by about a few pounds, right? You know, if you've got, you know, I lost from the start of my weight loss journey up to November 2017, when I kind of stopped my first phase, I lost 240 pounds, right? At least 225 to 230 was body fat. Yeah. So at least. So at the start of my journey, yeah, I might have reduced my excess water weight food, but you don't consistently keep losing excess water retention. You don't keep losing food weight. It just has an average in your body. And at the start of your journey, that will reduce down because that's what the whoosh effect comes from. And don't get me wrong, you might have periods through your journey, Christmas or holiday, where you increase your average food intake, which will push it up a little bit, and that might show a bump on the scales, and then you lose it again. But you don't need to look into it too deeply. If you've lost 28 pounds if you've lost 14 pounds since Christmas, you'll have lost, you know, at least. And as you go along the journey, the more you lose, the more the body fat is prevalent, you know, losses. So let's say someone's been at this journey 12 months and lost 56 pounds. You'll be at least 50 to 52 pounds of body fat down. And you've lost 56 pounds in weight. Weight loss is weight loss, whether it comes from a bit of water retention, food weight, and water weight at the start of your journey. It was still in your body. It's still weighed on the scales, and it's still gone. You know. On the Subway calories on NutriCheck, chicken sub correct as per serving. What is it per serving, Julie? NutriCheck chicken sub. So just to 6 it. I told you I've got my NutriCheck calories up. Let's have a look for you. So this is off the NutriCheck website, so this is accurate. So a roast chicken breast 6-inch sub is 302 calories. That does not include cheese or sauce. 302 calories. Yeah. So if you have cheese, you have sauce, you need to add those on, right? Because that's not as it comes, right? So about 60 pounds. Yes, definitely. If you've lost 60 pounds from the start of your weight loss journey, the majority of that will be body fat. Like I say, the first week or two, you will have lost a little bit of excess water retention, food weight, but once that's gone, you might gain it back at some certain points again. But yeah, the majority of any consistent weight loss is always going to be body fat. And that's why the only way to consistently bring a set of scales down is to consistently lose body fat. Yeah. Let me see. I've only lost 3 pounds, but I'm the lowest weight I've ever been as an adult. 3 pounds what? This year, Carly, which is fine. Do you know what I mean? Your weight loss was always going to slow down from weight. And the lighter we get, the less margin of error there is, you know? So is that 3 pounds this week? If that's 3 pounds this week, then there's definitely no only about it, you know? What calorie calculator do you recommend to use? Mine, Steph, TikTok profile, click on my link tree, sign up to my community. I'll work out your calories for you. It's £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. It's about the most accurate amount of calories you're going to get. And that goes for any of you guys. If any one of you guys isn't in my community, there's no contract. You can cancel any time. So you can just pay me a £5. I'll work out your calories. If you want to leave the community straight away, leave straight away. But yeah, it's the most accurate. When I give you your calories, if you eat the calories I give you, unless I put it any different in the email I send you, if you eat the calories I give you consistently over a year, you'll be 4 stone lighter this time next year. Yeah. Thanks, Neil. Can't wait to get started. Angela, not a problem at all. Angela came on board. I've worked out her calories. Angela isn't in Angela won't lose 4 stone over a year because her current weight and her current movement didn't allow me to put her into a 500 calorie a day deficit, which is fine. She doesn't need to be in one, to be honest with you, for the stage of where she's at with her journey. Angela, I've put into a 250 calorie a day deficit. So, and I'll always put what your calories will achieve on the scales, right? I'll always put that in your email if you join the community. Obviously, if you come on my one-to-one plan, you don't need that because you're working with me and we know what's going on and I'm keeping an eye on you every couple of weeks anyway. But yeah, if you come into the community, I will always tell you what your calories will achieve. You know, I get some clients that come on board into the community and they have a good level of movement and they're quite overweight. And I might put them into a bigger calorie deficit. And they might be like, look, I put you in a 1,000 calorie a day deficit. You should lose £2 a week on average, which would be 8 stone in a year. But if someone comes on board that weighs 30 stone, that is achievable, you know? If they have a good level of movement, that is. Yeah. Right, let me scan down. See. Look at the time. I was going early. It's 12:10. I've got to go. I've got work to do. Guys, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you very much for coming on board. If I've not answered any of your questions, please don't take it personal. It's not. I just haven't got time. I've got to go. I need to get some work done, and then I'm going to go and have a bit of lunch. Guys, I will be back tomorrow morning. 7:45 live tomorrow. It could be in here. I don't know if Rachel's coming to the gym with me or not tomorrow. She did mention it. If Rachel's coming to the gym, I'll be in here for 7:45. Actually, it might be 7:30. But I will be finishing at 8:20 because then I need to drive to the gym to go and do my spin class. If Rachel doesn't come to the gym, it'll be 7:45. But at 7:45, I'll definitely be on. Right? I'll definitely be on. It might be a bit earlier. But if Rachel doesn't come to the gym, I'll be on at 7:45, finishing at 8:45. And that's the last one of the week. Have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy Valentine's, whatever you are doing, if you're doing anything. And hopefully, if you are free, I will see you bright and breezy in the morning. So sign off TikTok. Hopefully, I'll say, my live tomorrow is only on TikTok. So you guys, if you just watch Facebook or YouTube, no live. Next live, I'll tell you in a second. Right, TikTok, I'll hopefully see you in the morning at 8:30 a.m. 7:45 a.m. YouTube, Facebook. I will hopefully see you, lovely people, Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. Have a great weekend if you don't follow me on TikTok and you don't jump on the live tomorrow.